Welcome back to Crash Bandicoot 2. Last time we got the red gem and completed Snowbeers and what we could of Air Crash. This time I actually should be going to the eel deal because I have a mask and masks don't mean anything in Bear It, but I kind of want to do the levels in order where possible. Before I go to Bear It though, there's a bit of an Easter egg here. This is Polar, the polar bear. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... Yeah. Another secret that all of my friends knew about when I was a kid, but yeah. So, that I believe can only be done once per save file. Bear It is a level that I have been dreading. It's not actually that bad if you're playing it normally, but the way that I'm doing this, I'm trying to go for deathless runs of levels where possible. These levels are completely on rails, so if you miss any boxes, you can't backtrack and you have to kill yourself. Which is not exactly conclusive for this, which I'm going for deathless runs where possible. So, we're riding Polar here, kind of a throwback to the ball levels from the first game. I personally like the Polar levels a lot more, but anyway. Polar can do a charge move by pressing circle, and charge and jump to jump really high. Polar is also very annoying on ice. You have to position yourself very... I think I did break that one. I'm pretty sure I broke that one. I hope I did. Anyway, ice is very, very tricky with Polar. You've got to be very careful about your positioning, otherwise you will miss boxes. These orcas aren't too bad once you know where they come out. Usually you want to go for the one that you saw come out first, because it usually won't be there once you reach the water. And since you can't actually touch TNTs while riding Polar, they go off on their own. So going for that orca there. This part usually isn't that bad. This checkpoint. This is the checkpoint before what I like to call the box formation from hell. 3 short hops here. That was close, but I'll take it. The box formation from hell is coming up. There's this hill and these boxes that are very tightly packed together. Good, got it. Okay, that is the hardest part of this level, and we're done. Yeah, if you don't care about death, this level is not that bad, but if you do, it is pretty painful. Wow, there are a lot of nitros. And we have the box gem. So yeah, apologies for my commentary there. I was basically just running on adrenaline and sheer practice. You can tell I practiced those levels way more than any other level before I did this, because doing deathless runs of those ones while getting all the boxes is not easy. So Crash deserves the celebration dance for that. Believe me, you will be seeing outtakes for that level. And that's not the end of the bear levels. Not by a long shot. Not by a very long shot. So now it's time for Crash Crush. You can probably tell what level it's a sequel to just based on the name, but you'll also be able to tell once we go in the warp room. Yep, it's another Boulder Chase level. They pretty much assume you're already familiar with the tricks of these levels and don't really introduce them again, but they're going to be ramping it up a lot more here. It's also Sunset, which adds quite a nice layer to this one. Really not that much to say other than run from the boulder. But this boulder gets rid of itself quite quickly. We have one of these bridges early. Goodbye, boulder. And there's the bang. I always like waiting for that. This is a new gimmick though, these electric fences that we have to slide under. Good thing the game introduced it to us in a boulder-free environment, because that's about to change. We also have a weird... I jumped over that. We also have a weird split path here. This is actually a jump that gave me a lot of trouble when I was younger, but doesn't give me much trouble now. I say that, and that's probably going to curse me. Anyway, this one right here. Slide jump. I can do it pretty much every time now, but when I was a kid, that jump gave me a lot of problems, because you've got to abuse that thing where you have a few seconds after you slide off a pit to jump in midair, because otherwise you'll jump too early and hit the electric fence. Speaking of the electric fence, here's one here. Yes, they're combining with boulders. That's a bigger pit than we're normally used to. More mines. Lots of mines. So yeah, this is basically Crash Dash, but everything ramped up a little bit. I couldn't really get the roll animation there. Whoop, that was close. Yeah, they like to give you these narrow branches. Okay, that mine is usually an exception to the rule that mines don't kill you. That one really likes to throw you in the pit, and that speed booster did not give you a very big boost of speed. But yes, that mine really likes to throw you in the pit. Be careful of that. And we've got another big bridge. Considering the bonus is right here, of course the boulder's going to fall down. And there it goes. Kind of a weird box placement right there. This was another instance of a jump that gave me a lot of trouble when I was younger. It actually took me a while to figure this out. This is one of the first times in the game, I believe, that you really need to know how to slide jump. But anyway, just belly flop that. Other than that, this bonus is pretty simple. But again, just those things that gave you trouble when you were younger, but now they just don't. Any of you watching have any moments like that in games you play now? It's just funny, that electric fence jump over the pit, I could just never do it when I was younger, but I do it all the time now. Get a few boxes. I believe we're getting close to the last boulder segment. The last one actually throws something pretty evil at you. You'll see once we get to it. You might notice there are a lot of speed boosters in this boulder segment. There's a reason for that. Thankfully, you get a lot of audio cues as to when the electric fences are coming. Now, notice the sheer number of speed boosters there. The reason for that is we need to belly flop that. You will not have enough time to do that unless you hit all those speed boosters. Unless you're neutral slide spinning, but that's a speedrun tactic that we're not really going to be going into here. But yeah, that's why they put the speed boosters there. Making you belly flop one of those boxes while the boulder is chasing you. That's a sign of the developer's sadism. It will get even worse eventually. It's a pretty short level though. So, next up is the eel deal, and if we look closely, we'll notice that we have a green gem here. So, that's going to be fun. So, let's go get ourselves a green gem, and hopefully a crystal and a box gem as well. This is not a sequel level, this is actually a new theme, and it's got music that I really like. Another one of the songs that just feels really iconic to this game to me. Anyway, yes, this is a sewer level. We have these weird cleaning robots, and we also have electric eels, hence the level's name. They'll electrify the water. This water does not instantly kill us. This isn't Sonic Boom, where you can instantly drown in water that's like hip deep. But anyway, those platforms do fall down if you stand on them too long, so be careful of that. Get these. And these rats do have spiked sides, so you need to jump on them, which gets a little awkward in these tunnels here, these tubular passageways. And we have another one of these here, and we've got a theme of these levels, split paths. The Wumpa Fruit here leads to the path through the rest of the level. This just leads to a bunch of nitros, though be sure to get this box, because that box does not actually blow up once you hit the nitro exploder. So, surely there's nothing in this room, right? Well, I mean, there's a lot of green, and there's a green gem in this level, so what is really the most logical thing to do is to jump through this wall. Yeah, once again, how they thought people would figure that out without a guide, I don't know, but we're now in a secret area. There are no boxes here besides nitros, though, so no need to come here if you're just going for the box gem. We've got a set of platforms in the electrified water here. Now, if you happen to lose a mast of electricity, it actually works kind of interestingly, but hopefully we don't get to show that. Well, I lost a mast of that. And there's the green gem. Now, what most people do is they just suicide here and death warp back to the last checkpoint. I am going for maximum challenge points and just going to try and get through here as best I can, backtracking. That can be a little bit tricky. Let's just get out of that water before it electrifies us, and once we get back here, the wall is still not solid, but we need to be careful because there are nitros. You do get a good opportunity to see them, though, while you're going through the wall, which is a weird sentence, but anyway. So yeah, let's just make our way through there, and we have the green gem. Let's move on. Those barrels, obviously, are bad. Pretty much anything in this game that is not a box or a mask or or fruit or an extra life is bad for you. Because Crash is violently allergic to everything, basically. And let's enter the bonus. I like the bonus theme in these levels, it's pretty cool. Like what they do with the pipe sounds. You might have heard all of those metal clang sounds there. That's because the hitbox of the belly flop was actually impacting some of the metal crates. Interesting thing is that apparently in the PAL version, that is the European and Australian version, the belly flop has a bigger radius for some reason. There are also a few other things, like apparently there are some hitboxes that are a bit different between the two versions. I think some, like TNTs, have bigger hitboxes. But anyway, it's kind of negligible, but the increased belly flop radius is good. Anyway, here's another one of those slightly jerkish things if you're just going for the crystals. You have to go down this branch of the path in order to get the crystal. And it's easy to forget that if you die and have to go back to a checkpoint, so make sure you remember to get the crystal. Other than that, this really isn't that difficult of a level, to be honest. I'm actually not really sure why it's the last level in this warp room. It is a new theme, though, which is pretty cool. Anyway, make sure you get this formation of boxes before you head down that hole. Because since there are fruit leading to it, obviously it's not going to kill us. This introduces a new gameplay mechanic, these grates. They like to introduce them in an area where there's nothing that's really threatening, so there's just this grate on its own. While we're on a grate, we can move, press square to spin, which I think defies all logic. I have no idea how Crash does this, but he can. I tried it when I was a kid on real-life monkey bars, and it doesn't work, let's just say. So, we can also press circle to pull legs up, which is the official name of the move. It's completely useless outside of one area in the game, which we won't be seeing for a long time. So that's kind of funny. Unfortunately, I don't think there's opportunity for a third Ooga Booga here, because going invincible on the grates makes you go incredibly fast, like really, really fast. Normally, speedruns avoid going invincible because the glitchy slide spin technique is faster than going invincible, but on grates, because you can't slide, going invincible just makes you so fast, so they actually want to go invincible there. But like I said, this level's actually not that bad. And you can get everything from it first try if you know that weird guide dang it thing. So we now have the green gem, which is actually not going to be useful to us for a while. With that, now that we've got all 5 crystals, we should be getting a cutscene.
"10 of 25 crystals. You're on your way. I'm running low on power, so communication from this point will be difficult. Again, be wary of the pathways between warp rooms. Remember, I'm counting on you."
He says in a totally not evil voice. But with that, we've got everything in this warp room except for the air crash box gem, which we can't get just yet. So, this is the last time we'll be seeing Polar for a while. Well, just lying around the warp room. We will be seeing Polar again in the next one. Actually, quite a bit of him. For now, though, we're going to be heading up to fight our next boss, which, in grand tradition, is going to be fairly easy. Except in the beta version, this boss was a lot harder. There's a beta version of this game, and it's interesting all the changes to it. You get an automatic mask for this one, which is kind of interesting. This is the Komodo Brothers, Komodo Joe and Komodo Mo. They have really cool music. According to the manual, Joe is supposed to be the smart one, he's the skinny one, and Mo, the big one, is supposed to be the dumb one, but in this fight, they both seem equally stupid. So Joe just spins around the room. Once he's finished, you spin him into Mo, and no matter where you spin him from, he'll always crash into him to do damage. After that, Mo will start throwing daggers. These daggers are very easy to dodge because he doesn't even do a full circle around the room. In the beta version, he actually did do a full circle around the room, but not here. So now, he's back to just doing the spin again. Now, if you go close to... Yeah, I just did that for proof of concept. You can dodge that, though. I've done it before. This is a pretty silly boss. And once again, throwing daggers. This is also not a full circle around the room, so you can just basically stand still after moving a bit and you'll be completely safe. And in the third phase, Mo will throw daggers at you while Joe is spinning. In the beta version, Mo did this on every phase, and his daggers were a lot faster as well. So, if you're interested, definitely look up the beta version of this fight. It's actually a lot harder. And I kind of wish that we got it, but I guess it does feel a little bit extreme for a second boss. But as it stands, though, in this version, they're pretty simple.
Good show, Crash. The Komodo Brothers obviously lacked your mettle. But now is not the time to get cocky. There are still many crystals to obtain. Remember, the world is counting on you.
So we're now in Warp Room 3, where we have plant food. I don't like this level, yeah. I have bad flashback to this one. I'm not looking forward to doing it, but it's the first one and I have to, because the next one, sooner or later, requires something from plant food. Then we have Bear Down. As you can tell by the pun, it's yet another polar level. Road to Ruin, which is actually a pretty cool one, and Unbear. Yep, they're really going all out with the bear puns. Yeah, Teddy loves this warp room. But anyway, for now I'm just going to show the save file icon for the Komodo Brothers, who I should mention, they're actually new to this game. They weren't in Crash 1. And with that, that'll be a good time to call this. So next time, we'll be taking on plant food. The box gym in this level is fine. It's the other thing that I'm worried about. Yeah. Looks like Crash is breathing a sigh of relief that he doesn't have to do plant food in this episode. The pain will come next time, though. We're almost at the box formation from hell, which is here. Oh boy, this is annoying. Ah, I missed one of them. At least I get to show off the funny death animations for Polar, because yes, Polar is completely indestructible, which is a running theme for these. As you'll see here, just wanted to show that just to show it. Even Nitros. Nothing hurts Polar ever. If you press circle, you do a little charge move. Charge jumping is the fastest form of movement on Polar, which some people refer to as Polar launching. Now, ice on Polar can be tricky, like that formation of boxes there, and that, just missed that. And then there's ice. Ice on Polar is interesting for that very reason. You've got to be very careful about how you move there. So, this one assumes you already know all the tricks of the Boulder level, so it doesn't really bother reintroducing them. But they're going to make things a lot trickier.